All right. Good morning, beloveds. So the picture's been kind of glitchy, but apparently the audio is fine, although the sound echoes a little weirdly, even though I'm using a microphone, because I'm in a much bigger room. Until we can figure out if we can replace the fan if we can figure out if Tom can replace the fan, or if we're going to have to pay somebody to do it. So if you're in the spring area and have a good handyman, let me know. Okay. We are doing a new design for living, so let's do the housekeeping really quickly. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That gets you one email a week, unless something unusual happens. It's usually weather related, because I will point out we do live on the Gulf Coast. And it's a real person doing it. He just doesn't have time for more than that. So that's why. One email a week, unless something unusual happens. It is also a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information or the person that can help you get it. So, and then I'll mention the social media. I only mention it briefly because we're doing this on social media, but we don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, share, follow, based on which platform you're on, the pages, and then with the individual pages, or with the individual post, comment on the post, share the post, and react to the posts. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff, which is the whole goal of social media. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I'm the running Rev Ryan across the social medias that I am on. So I think that's everything. Yeah, the light's weird in this room too. I never realized how dark my living room was until. So I have two lamps. Okay. First I need to find my glasses. And then figure out what. I have a cat. You've seen him, Dante. Loves to knock things off the desk. So, I keep having to put everything away. Which, he doesn't do that in the guest room on the little table. I don't know. But he can get up on this desk. I guess that's the problem. Actually, I don't know where he is right now. Okay, so, New Design for Living was written towards the end of Ernest Holmes' career, and what I like to call it is, this is the science of mind process. That is what he's doing. He's taking you through how to do science of mind. Because science of mind isn't a religion, it is a philosophy, and it has direct action steps. So, here we are. And we are going to tackle today no big or little. The action of any law is in no way concerned with size. The little rock will fall to the ground just as surely as the big. The life that flows in the flea and the life that courses through the veins of the elephant is of the one life. The same body of law applies to each. So it is with science of mind, which cannot in any way be concerned with size, importance, or supply of the good that we desire in our lives. We have to free ourselves from the habit of thinking in small. We have to free ourselves from the habit of thinking in a small way, or that something may be too big or too good for us to experience. That comes into that worthiness thing. It's like, I'm not worthy. Well, why are you not worthy? You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are absolutely worthy of all of the good that you desire. So, our thoughts are the only limiting factors. The law, which responds to our thoughts, is ready and able to accomplish all things. Experiment has enabled humanity to formulate many statements about the way certain laws operate and what they will accomplish. Just as the scientist has done in discovering the laws which govern the physical world, so we discover for ourselves through our own experience, the nature of that law which applies to our thought. And just as order exists in the physical world, so we are able to establish order and harmony in our experience, which at the present time may appear chaotic in comparison to what we would like it to be. In coming to discover the nature of any law, physical or mental, we find that it always remains intangible. We can find out how it works and the way it works, but never the why it works. And we can find out more of the how and the way as we find out more of the how and the way, we are often confronted with the necessity of enlarging our concept of just what the law is. Okay. In commenting on the somewhat confused and complicated set of facts currently encountered in particle physics, J. Robert Oppenheimer, famed for his atomic research, feels that this is the result of being unable to see beyond the facts to the harmony that must exist behind them in terms of which they may be understood. Okay. Yep. Hang on. That was a sentence. I'm going to have to think about it for a minute. All right. Feels that this is the result of being unable to see beyond the facts to the harmony which must exist behind them in terms of which they may be understood. Okay. All right. I think that's the forest and the trees argument, and why we have to let go of the why. We can see how it works. We can see the way it works, but we don't understand why it does what it does. And very likely, we will never understand why it works the way it works. And we just have to be okay with that and get on with it. Because there is something beyond it, which we are a part of, but only a infinitesimally small part of. So therefore, okay. All right. Oh. Which is what he's about to say. Just as the scientist will never be able to exhaust the full meaning of what he has designated as law, like Oppenheimer, so it is likely we will never be able to completely encompass the nature of the law of spirit or mind. Who could encompass the creative power of the universe? Which is what I was just trying to say. Who? Because we are an infinitesimally small part of that. We're never going to be able to encompass the whole thing. But it doesn't mean we should stop trying. Okay? In considering the laws of the physical world, the people of science have been able to, for the most part, to reduce to definite and specific mathematical equations the way they operate. It would be difficult to venture a guess as to whether such could be done with a spiritual or mental law, even though its operation is just as definite. If certain things are done, certain results will occur. An expression of love brings a response of love. Thoughts of hate will let one encounter only hate. These are definite and specific actions and reactions. But defining them in terms of a formula or symbol is quite another thing. So perhaps any statement of the way such a law functions will of necessity be confined to explanation rather than mathematics, although it functions just as surely and accurately as any mathematically stated law. He just seems a little fascinated with math, which I get. I have a double minor in math. Math is infinitely fascinating and very frustrating. So, I finally hit one of those classes where I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'm a bounce because you have just gotten too weird in math for me. All right. In working out a new design for living logically and with certitude that it will work, we need to remember it is based on the action of law and that the success of it will be determined by our level of understanding of this action. Our experience is the result of the automatic reaction of the law upon our thought, whether it relates to our physical health, our relationships with others, or just the sheer joy of living. But the action is a response to the totality of our thoughts, past and present. Okay? So, it is a response to our thought process, to what we think, what we know, what we do. And I like that he threw in the totality, because that reminds us every thought has the potential to be creative. Not every thought is creative. Okay. So occasionally everybody, even the strongest Pollyanna, is going to have a negative thought. You know, I mean, for God's sakes, if you watch the news, you're going to have a negative thought, which is one of the reasons why I mostly quit watching the news. Because I don't want to have those negative thoughts. So, if you have a negative thought, don't freak out about it. But what you want to do is, if you start to notice that you have more and more negative thoughts, figure out what that root cause is. Okay, like I said, with me watching the news, so I don't watch the news. It helps me not to have those negative thoughts. You got to weed your garden on a regular basis, and if you keep finding the same weed, dig out the root. Dig out the root. I know approximately when the weather will be on. I will turn the news on for that part, and then I will flip away because, yeah, I don't need those negative thoughts. All right, so no big or little. That's the amazing thing, is when you're dealing with an infinite system, it can't step outside. This is what Jesse likes to say. It can't step outside of itself to compare. So it doesn't know big or little. It doesn't know fast or slow. It has no concept of that. We, in our human experience, are time bound. We are time and space bound. So we have that comparison. It doesn't. And that's what we've got to lean into. The fact that it doesn't know big or little. And that we get to enlarge our concepts. So that is the lesson for today. I'm going to move on into the process of my day. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Let's get this week started off right. Day A, you got this day. A do what you got to do day. A cuddle your fur babies day. A drink plenty of water day. A go dance in the sunshine day, because it's cold out there. Cold. It's in the 40s. It's probably in the 50s by now. And I'm watching my partner's trying to cuddle one of the fur babies, and the fur baby's not having it. Okay, so the having get distracted by something fun and funny day. A do what you need to do. I've already said that. Do what you need to do day. Okay, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So, explore the truth of your being, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. All right, yeah, throw that away. One of the toys just disintegrated. One of the cat toys just disintegrated. All right. Let's see. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And hang on. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.